When COVID began spreading through Central Virginia this time last year, most Easter services were canceled. But this year, thanks to more people being vaccinated, some local churches will welcome families in person. Our Cameron Thompson spoke with local pastors about how things will look.
It's been really difficult to figure out how we can be and do the church at a time when we can't come together.
Pastor Jim Somerville reflects on the past year at Richmond's First Baptist Church, adjusting to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Trying to reinvent church and figure out how we could do what we do virtually rather than in person.
An approach they took last year when, as a precaution, they just replayed 2019 services. But as cases fall and vaccinations rise, Somerville says they'll allow up to 150 people in a building with a capacity for 1,200, requiring registration, mask wearing, social distancing, and no singing.
Even though humming is encouraged.
Meanwhile, at St. Paul's in Richmond, they're getting ready for their first in-person services since the pandemic began. Associate Rector Rainey Dankel says they only got the green light this past week, but have been planning for months.
Figuring out how many people we could safely seat in the church, people keeping their distance and so forth, and how would we handle communion, and would we be able to sing, and those sorts of things.
However, the comfort level isn't there yet for 6th Mount Zion Baptist Church pastor Tyrone Nelson.
I couldn't handle it on my conscience if we came together, somebody ended up getting sick and end up in the hospital or dead.
Nelson says he's lost 2 members to the virus unrelated to church gatherings, and he adds they stopped in-person worship in early March of last year. And aside from one drive-in service last summer,
tell me to come to you on the water.
They've remained virtual, with hundreds joining in each week. It says it's no substitute for the real thing.
We've been just missing people, family members, and gathering with people in our community.
Nelson says he understands some churches going to some in person, but says he's going to wait a few more months until herd immunity is reached.
When we open back up, we're going to open back up.
And Pastor Nelson says while he is still working on his sermon for Sunday, he plans to talk about how while this past year has been a dark place, we are coming out of it, and that this Resurrection Sunday could hopefully provide some hope. Working for you, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.